Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fatwa Hamas Falatehan. I want to explain about milling machine to fulfill English for engineering 1 tax. Okay, in definition of a milling machine. A milling machine is a machine that produces a flat plane where it rotates and moves objects to perform footsteps, while the milling process is a machining process that generally produces a flat shape due to the movement of the machine table, where the process of reducing the workpiece material occurs due to contact between the cutting tool or cutter that rotates on the shaft with the workpiece gripped on the machine table. Okay, milling machine working principle. The power for cutting comes from electrical energy, which is converted into main motion by an electric motor. Then the main movement will be transmitted through a transmission to produce rotary motion on the milling machine shaft. The milling machine shaft or milling machine is part of the main milling machine system whose job is to hold and rotate the cutter to produce rotation or cutting motion. The cutting motion of the cutter, if it is applied to a workpiece that has been gripped, will result in a cut in the workpiece. This can occur because the cutting material has a hardness that exceeds the hardness of the workpiece. Function of the milling machine. The purpose of the milling machine is a workpiece with a flat surface or other specific shafts such profiles, radius, cylindrical, and other with a certain size and quality. This is a engine part of the milling machine. Okay, 1. Machine base. The bottom of the engine serves as the foundation of the milling machine and also as a place to dispose of the coolant that has been used. All loads are on the base of the machine, so it must withstand high pressure, made of cast iron. 2. Engine column or machine body. The engine column functions as a support or position for machine parts such as spindles, levers, motors, and pulleys. The part in the form of a bird's tail with an upright position serves to move the knees up and down carrying the saddle and table. The position of the machine body stands upright and sturdy, is used as a benchmark, and is the holder and housing of the gears. In addition, the engine body becomes the holder of the main axis. even for the place of holder for the motor and the pulleys. The front part that is specially made is in the form of a bird's tail with an upright position for movement up and down the knee that carries the saddle and table. Okay, knee. This section has two grooves of the bird's tail that are perpendicular to each other. One pairs with the engine columns and the other pairs with the saddle. The knees on the milling machine are made of cast iron and can only be moved vertically. Inside the knee are various Inside the knee are various gears that regulate automatic movement, whether it's automatic motion to the right, left, forward, or backward. This part can also be locked with a column to make it sturdy during the milling process. Okay, saddle or table stand. The saddle is between the knee and the milling machine table. It is square in shape, made of cast iron, and has a bird's tail groove that pairs with the knees. The saddle can be moved transversely toward the column or back and forth movement. Can also be locked to the knee what if needed. At the top of the saddle there is a T-groove that circles 360 derajat in relation to the table. This allows the table to be rotated off shift for certain purposes. The degree of rotation of the table can be seen in the saddle. The saddle is also equipped with a handle that is used to reverse the direction of automatic movement. Okay, machine table. It sits on a saddle and is made of cast iron. Its main function is as a place to behind the workpiece in the milling process. It is rectangular. It is rectangular in shape and has T grooves. The T groove on the table serves as a place for nut and bolt used to fasten workpiece or vise. In universal milling machine, this table can be rotated off shift 0 to 45 degrees, either to the left or to the right. This table can be locked on the saddle so it doesn't vibrate during the milling process. To install the workpiece and milling knife, we need a variety of equipment. Okay, arm located above the horizontal and universal milling machine column. The bottom has a bird's tail groove which ends in pairs with the very top of the machine. The other end is used as a support arbor which has a bird's tail groove as well. This arm can be locked and removed for curtain purposes. The arbor support can also be locked and removed in curtain positions, making them suitable for curtain jobs. Okay, spindle. The spindle is an important part of the milling machine. Serves as a holder for cutting tools on a vertical milling machine and as an arbor on a horizontal milling machine. In the milling process, the driving motor will move the spindle so that the cutting tool rotates. At the end of the spindle there is a slot for holding the cutting tool. Arbor. Arbor is a mechanical part of the milling machine. Functions as a spindle extension on a horizontal milling machine. The arbor also functions as a cutting tool holder or the milling knife and rotates in the direction of feeding the cutting tool. Okay, milling knife. Milling knife. A milling knife is a cutting tool used to cut the workpiece in the milling process. There are various types of milling knives that can be used with different shafts and functions, so that operators can be more effective in shaping or producing workpiece. Support arbor serves to support the arbor so that the arbor movement can be stable. It has a bird's tail groove that pairs with the milling arm and a hole that pairs with the arbor. Milling head. Located at the very top of the vertical milling machine. This part consists of a spindle, a driving motor, and other controlling mechanism. And then ram. The ram is the protruding arm of a vertical milling machine. The end of the ram is directly connected to the engine column, while the other end is connected to the milling head. Drive motor serves to convert electrical energy into mechanical energy or provide the engine power to move. And then handle. The handle on the milling machine functions to move the machine table manually, both vertically and horizontally. And then emergency stop button. This emergency button is used to stop the milling machine in an emergency. For example, when cutting the workpiece too thick and causing the milling knife to jam or break, or in the event of a work accident. Lighting. Okay. The lighting on the milling machine serves to provide light during the milling process. With this lighting, the operator can see the milling process more clearly, and also the operator can more easily measure the workpiece. And then cooling system. This cooling system serves to drain the coolant or bromose during the process of cutting the workpiece. This system can be used only when needed. The cooling system on the milling machine consists of several parts, starting from the water pump, hose, and the coolant drain system, which is located on the base of the milling machine. And then machine table automatic system. This automatic system is used to move the table automatically. The speed can be adjusted according to need. And then speed panel. This panel is used to adjust the spindle speed of the milling machine. Operators can choose the speed for the milling process according to their needs, so that the work can be done more effectively. Thus, a complete discussion of the parts of the milling machine and their function. Hopefully useful and add insight to all of us. Don't forget to share with other friends. Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.